Hello, and a very warm welcome to all of you. It's always a joy to have you here. Today, I want to discuss the simplest, most fundamental piece of health advice that has ever existed. It's advice I'm sure you've heard from your doctor, your children, from articles you've read, from the moment you first became interested in your well-being. And that advice is simply this: drink more water. It is the elixir of life, the foundation of our very biology. Every cell, every tissue, every organ in our magnificent body depends on it to function. We think of it as pure, simple, and infallibly good for us. And it is. But what if I were to tell you that for our bodies, especially as we gather the wisdom of years, the story isn't quite so simple? What if how you drink water is profoundly more important than just if you drink it? What if a few common, seemingly harmless habits many of us do every single day without a second thought, are turning this life-giving liquid into a source of chronic, hidden stress for your body? What if the very way you hydrate is silently burdening your hardest working, most underappreciated organs, your kidneys? This isn't a story meant to create fear. It is a story meant to spark awareness. It's about a crucial shift from simply consuming water to truly absorbing it. The inspiration for this talk came from a patient of mine, a gentleman we will call Mr. Henderson. At 75, he was a marvel. A retired mail carrier who had walked miles every day of his life, he was incredibly fit and health conscious. He carried a large water bottle with him everywhere, constantly sipping, or rather gulping from it. He was doing everything right, he thought. Yet he came to me suffering from debilitating muscle cramps that would wake him at night, a persistent, nagging fatigue that his daily walk no longer cured, and, most puzzling of all, his lab results showed subtle signs of dehydration. How could a man who drank so much water be dehydrated? The answer to that paradox is the core of our conversation today. It was his healthy habit that was in fact the root of his problem. Together, we are going to explore the 3 hidden dangers of improper hydration. And then I will share with you a simple, elegant method I call the Hydration Harmony Protocol, a way of thinking about water that will ensure it nourishes your body deeply rather than just passing through it. So I invite you once again to get comfortable. This is foundational knowledge that can have a ripple effect on your energy, your digestion, and your long-term health. And if you find value in our time together, please do take a moment to click those like and subscribe buttons. It's a wonderful, no-cost way to support our work and to help these important conversations reach all those who might benefit. Now, let's talk about water. Before we can understand what we might be doing wrong, we must first appreciate the quiet miracle of our kidneys. We often think of them as simple drains, just flushing out waste. But this is a profound understatement. Your kidneys are more like a pair of incredibly sophisticated, intelligent filters. They process approximately 200 quarts of blood every single day, meticulously sifting out waste while painstakingly reabsorbing the precise amount of water and essential minerals, electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and magnesium that your body needs to keep everything in perfect balance. It is an act of constant, delicate negotiation. I want you to imagine you are making a perfect cup of coffee using a delicate paper filter. If you pour the hot water in a gentle, steady stream, the water passes through the grounds evenly, extracting all the rich flavor, and the filter does its job perfectly. Now, imagine you take the whole kettle and dump the water in all at once with great force. The water overflows, the filter might even tear, the grounds are barely touched, and you're left with a weak, messy cup of coffee. Your kidneys operate on a similar principle. They are designed for a gentle, steady stream, not a sudden, forceful flood. The core problem with how many of us drink water lies in 2 habits: the water gulp and the ice-cold shock. Let's first talk about the gulp.
This is the habit of drinking a large volume of water very quickly. Perhaps you down a huge glass with your morning pills, or you chug an entire bottle after a walk, thinking you are rapidly rehydrating. But when you do this, you overwhelm the kidney's ability to perform that delicate negotiation. Faced with a sudden, massive influx of fluid, your body's top priority becomes maintaining the correct blood volume. It can't absorb all that water at once, so the kidneys are forced into emergency mode. Their primary signal is, "We're overflowing. Get rid of this excess fluid immediately." They work frantically to excrete the water as quickly as possible. And in this rapid flushing process, those precious, life-sustaining electrolytes are often flushed out right along with it. The water passes through you, but it doesn't truly hydrate you on a cellular level. You can be, like Mr. Henderson, both full of water and yet functionally dehydrated and mineral depleted. Now let's add the second habit, the ice-cold shock. We often crave ice-cold water. It feels crisp and refreshing. But you must understand this. Your body cannot use water until it is brought to your internal body temperature, approximately 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. When you drink a glass of ice-cold water, you are giving your body an extra, significant chore. It must expend a considerable amount of metabolic energy just to warm that water up. This is a diversion of resources. Furthermore, cold temperatures cause vasoconstriction, a narrowing of the blood vessels. This happens in your digestive tract as well, which can hinder absorption and digestion, a point we will return to shortly. This thermic stress, day in and day out, is a needless burden on your system. This was Mr. Henderson's exact pattern. After his long morning walk, he would come inside and chug an entire 32-ounce bottle of ice-cold water straight from the refrigerator. He thought he was doing the best possible thing for his body. In reality, he was triggering the electrolyte washout, which was causing his severe muscle cramps. And he was forcing his body to expend precious energy warming up all that cold liquid, which was contributing to his profound fatigue. His healthy habit was, in fact, a recipe for exhaustion and imbalance.
Understanding this mechanism is the first step. Now let's look at the long-term consequences. I want to highlight 3 specific dangers that this style of drinking can pose, particularly to a mature body. This is the most immediate danger, and it's the one responsible for many common but mysterious symptoms. Electrolytes, sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, are not just minerals. They are the tiny electrical charges that run your entire body. They govern your nerve impulses, your muscle contractions, your heartbeat, and your brain function. Their balance is absolutely critical. As I mentioned, when you gulp large volumes of water, you force your kidneys into a flushing mode. They cannot distinguish between wastewater and the electrolytes dissolved within it, so out they go. You are literally washing these vital minerals out of your system. A chronic, low-grade loss of these minerals can lead to a host of issues that are often brushed off as just part of getting older. Magnesium loss is strongly linked to nighttime leg cramps, muscle twitches, and poor sleep. Potassium and sodium imbalances can lead to profound fatigue, weakness, and even dangerous heart palpitations or arrhythmias. General electrolyte imbalances can contribute directly to brain fog, dizziness, and headaches. I once consulted with a lovely woman named Mrs. Davis, aged 80, who was at her wit's end. She was suffering from terrible leg cramps every single night and heart flutters during the day that frightened her. Her cardiologist had run every test and could find nothing wrong with her heart. During our conversation, I discovered her daily ritual. She took several medications in the morning and several at night, and with each dose, she would swallow them down with 2 huge 8-ounce glasses of water to make sure they went down properly. She was, twice a day, inducing a massive electrolyte washout. Her body was being depleted of the very magnesium and potassium it needed to calm her muscles and regulate her heartbeat. The problem wasn't a disease, It was the way she was drinking water. It is a far more common problem than most doctors realize. The second danger centers on the habit of drinking ice-cold water, especially with meals. As I noted, cold temperatures cause blood vessels to constrict. Your stomach and intestines are lined with a rich network of these vessels, which are crucial for a healthy digestive process. When you drink a large glass of ice-cold water while you eat, you are effectively creating a digestive shutdown. Reduced blood flow. The constricted vessels deliver less blood to your stomach lining. This impairs its ability to secrete the hydrochloric acid and digestive enzymes needed to properly break down your food, particularly proteins. Hindered nutrient absorption. This reduced blood flow also affects the small intestine, making it less efficient at absorbing the vitamins and minerals from the food you've just eaten. You could be eating the most nutritious meal in the world, but you are creating a barrier to actually getting those nutrients into your cells. Fat solidification. This is a particularly interesting point. Cold temperatures solidify fats. Drinking ice-cold water with a meal can cause the healthy fats from your food to clump together, making them much more difficult for your body to process and digest. The result of all this is indigestion, bloating, gas, and a feeling of heaviness after meals. It's like trying to wash a greasy pan with cold water. It simply doesn't work very well. You need warmth to break things down and clean things up effectively. Your digestive system is no different. You are giving your gut a cold shock right when it needs warmth and energy to do its job. This final danger is perhaps the most insidious, because it's about long-term cumulative wear and tear. When you fall into the habit of gulping water, you create a vicious cycle. It looks like this. You feel thirsty, so you gulp a large amount of water. Your kidneys are overwhelmed and flush most of it out within the hour. Because it was never properly absorbed on a cellular level, you feel thirsty again very soon. So, what do? You gulp another large amount of water. This pattern puts your kidneys into a constant state of emergency overtime. They are being repeatedly asked to handle a crisis, a flood, rather than their normal, steady workflow. While our kidneys are remarkably resilient, this chronic overwork, year after year, decade after decade, can contribute to a faster decline in their function. It accelerates the natural aging process of these vital organs. For a system that may already be dealing with the effects of high blood pressure, diabetes, or simply the passage of time, this added, unnecessary strain is a burden we must avoid. Preserving kidney function for as long as possible is one of the keys to a healthy, independent old age. We can help achieve that simply by changing how we introduce water to our bodies.
I hope it is clear by now that the solution is not to drink less water. The solution is to drink it smarter. To that end, I want to offer you my simple 3-rule protocol. I call it the Hydration Harmony Method. It is designed to work with your body's natural wisdom, not against it. Your new mantra for hydration is little and often. Your goal is no longer to get your water in. Your goal is to keep your body constantly and gently moistened. Instead of drinking a large glass of water a few times a day, keep a glass or small bottle of water with you throughout the day, and every 15 or 20 minutes, simply take 2 or 3 small, mindful sips. That's it. By doing this, you are providing that gentle, steady stream that your kidneys love. You give them time to filter, absorb, and deliver the water exactly where it needs to go, into your cells. The electrolytes stay in balance, the water is used, not just flushed. This single change is the most powerful step you can take towards true, effective hydration. It's time to rethink our obsession with ice-cold drinks. For your daily primary hydration, your water should ideally be room temperature or even warm. I know this may sound unappealing at first, but your body will thank you for it. Room temperature or warm water requires no extra energy to process. It is absorbed easily and efficiently. It actually aids digestion rather than hindering it. It is soothing to the gut. There's a reason why, in many of the world's longest-lived cultures, drinking warm water or tea throughout the day is a cornerstone of their health practices. They understood this principle intuitively. Reserve ice-cold water as an occasional treat on a truly hot summer day, not as your default. By making this simple switch, you remove a significant and unnecessary daily stressor from your system. The sensation of thirst is a wonderful gift, but it is actually a lagging indicator. It's a signal that the process of dehydration has already begun. The goal of the hydration harmony method is to live in a state where that alarm bell rarely needs to ring. By following rule number 1 and sipping consistently throughout the day, you will naturally achieve this. You will stay ahead of thirst. But there is another key component to this rule: eat your water. Many people forget that we can get a significant portion of our hydration from the foods we eat. Incorporating water-rich foods into your diet is a wonderfully effective way to hydrate on a cellular level. These foods release their water slowly during digestion, which is ideal. Some of the best hydrating foods include cucumber, celery, zucchini, watermelon and other melons, strawberries, and of course, nourishing soups and broths. Thinking of hydration as a combination of sipping water and eating water-rich foods creates a holistic and much more effective approach. So, the story of water is not of volume, but of absorption. True hydration is a gentle, consistent practice, not a forceful, intermittent chore. It is a quiet conversation with your body, not a loud command. In a way, this teaches us a larger lesson for this beautiful chapter of our lives. Perhaps the wisdom of aging is about learning to let go of force and embrace gentleness in all things. We no longer need to rush, to gulp, to overwhelm. We have earned the right to be deliberate, to be mindful. Just as we learn to sip water to truly nourish ourselves, perhaps we can learn to sip life, to savor its moments, to absorb its joys, and to move through our days with a quiet, harmonious rhythm. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing your valuable time with me today. If this conversation has been meaningful to you, I would be so grateful if you would click the like button and subscribe to our channel. And if you know someone who might find this information helpful, please do share it with them. That is how we build a community that is strong, healthy, and informed. In our next video together, we will explore the surprising link between posture, how we sit and stand, and our energy levels. It's another piece of the puzzle to living with vitality. Until then, I wish you well. Be gentle with yourselves, and may your next glass of water be a truly nourishing one.